Fucking FOMC. Wow. You either got wrecked or you made a lot of money. We're going to go over the story of the market and figure out what might happen next. So, right now, I mean, as you see, we had that crazy wick to the upside and the downside, took everybody out. You know, if you shorted up here, you made a lot of money. If you long down here, you made a lot of money. So after that, you had another wick. I mean, the volatility was massive right here. Massive. So basically the same thing, but took you all the way down to the lower section. Then came down and started your first range low. Well, we'll figure out whether this is a range or a descending triangle, because right now it could be either. I mean, as you see on the line chart, you're making lower highs, but you're making the same lows. So we're going to find out. And then if we break, we got a measured move. Either way, even if it's a range, the measured move is going to be the same. The measured move is about 19.8 is what I'd be looking at right now. Let's see here. Just checking on a trade I got going on. So your major moving averages have all crossed bearish. I mean, they're all below each other. You got your 21, which is your yellow, your 50, your red, your 100, which is your blue, and your 200, which is your purple. Your 100 and 200 even crossed bearish. So your overall true trend is to the downside. And now if this 21 starts to fan out even more, that's going to spell doom for the price action. I would expect us to break these last range lows if this 21 does start to fan out. Right now we're going to go over your momentum oscillators, which is your RSI right here and your MACD right here. So right now your RSI below its signal line got rejected from the neutral median line right here, came down into the bearish control zone. Now you did have bullish divergence from here to here, but that's already played out with that big ass candle right there. Right now your BBWP, as we do go sideways, has crossed below its moving average, working its way into the lower zone, which is a volatility indicator, by the way. Your BBWP measures volatility. MACD looks like it's curling back over, probably going to cross this to the downside. If not, we might get a little bounce out of the price. Positive momentum is pretty stable, but it's curling its way down to the zero line. If we start printing dark red bars here, not going to look too good. And let's move to the 4 hour. Then we're going to come back to the 1 hour, talk about the bullish and bearish cases. Right now, your 21 is curling over. If it crosses the 50 and starts to fan out, it's not going to look good. That's going to be another variable that we would break these range lows. Right now, your RSI, you are in the bearish control zone, getting double rejected from your signal line, creating an M pattern. If you break this last low on the RSI, you're probably going to go really deep into the RSI, and that's going to turn your momentum to the downside fast. Right now, your MACD, strong downside curvature below its signal line. Negative momentum is decreasing, so you could come up maybe for a test of this and resumption down. But right now, the bears are in control. All right. Your BBWP did cross its moving average to the upside, so I do expect the volatility to start. I do expect a big move to happen very soon. Very, very soon. Either down, well, we'll talk about the bullish and bearish case once we get back to the 1 hour. Right now, your 8 hour bouncing off that bearish control zone, but coming back down to it. If we break into the bearish control zone, you're already below your signal line. If we break into the bearish control zone, that's going to look like shit. Strong downside curvature on the MACD, below your signal line. Negative momentum is increasing. BBWP is on the floor right now. So for the 8 hour, as soon as this thing crosses its moving average and that moving average gets a positive slope, that's when the big ass move is going to happen. I think we're either going to 19.8 quickly or basically 20,700 quickly. So quite a big move. Let's see. From where we're at to there. Well, no, that is not where I expect us to go, actually. I expect us to have at least a 7% move down to 18,750 or back up to the range highs at 21K. So, but the thing is that is going to start a bigger move. I'm talking about I expect us to go to one of those levels really quick. But we're going to find out. We're going to find out which way we break. And whichever way we break is going to cascade into a much, much bigger move here on the daily. All right, so your BBWP is freshly crossing its moving average. So we could go sideways here for a bit, playing out of range. All right, because I mean, we are basically in a range right now from 21K to 20K. So about $1,000 range right now. Right now, you are neutral on your RSI. Below your signal line, but you're still above the neutral median line. So you're in the upper neutral zone still. So if you cross into that lower neutral zone, it's time to start being aware, you know, and stay nimble. Because if you enter the bearish control zone on the daily, you're going to get boo caked. So your MACD curling over, all right? Could cross this signal line, but it hasn't yet. Your positive momentum is going down. If you start printing dark red bars on this histogram and cross that to the downside, that's not going to look good. That would probably lead us into the lower neutral zone of the RSI. And we already went over BBWP. Let's go back down to the 1 hour. Bullish case. Basically, you break this trend line to the upside, okay? So about 20,250. That's the level we need to break. And then I would expect a rejection from 20,300, probably come back down and retest 20,250, and then resume up to 20,400 is what I'm guessing. Where this 100 is going to come down to. I would expect a rejection from there, but honestly, I think we would get up to 20,500 pretty quick after about 2 rejections, in my opinion. Bearish case is that you break the range lows at 20,000. I'd say 20,085. Let's go ahead and look at this last low. 20,000. Oh, the low is 20,085. All right, so that's the level. You break that, your measured move. Let's get this back. I'm thinking it was like 19s. All right, so there's that. Let's bring this down. Even if this is a range, it's still the same measured move. Your measured move brings you down to 19,800. That would be the level I'd be looking at right now. So there's the bullish and bearish cases. Right now the bulls are the bears are in control. So the downside probability is a little more. All right. But on the daily, you're pretty neutral. Because I mean, on the daily, you're basically just going in a range right now. So, and actually this would be the bottom of the range, your $20,000 level. So we're either going to get a pop there and then break the top of this trend line, or we're going to break down. And if we break down below 20K, 16.5 is the move I'm talking about. We're going to have ebbs and flows, obviously, down to that 19.8, get a big bounce there. You know, we're going to have ebbs and flows on the way down. After we break 19.8, the next level is 19K. We break 19K, 18K, and then 16.5. So if you guys are liking this video so far, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description below. One being the Discord. The Discord is the place to be. We stay ahead of this market collectively. We figure out these moves before they happen. We talk about them before they happen. We make a lot of money in the Discord. Definitely join the Discord. There's also a Bybit link down there, and you get free crypto. I get free crypto. So definitely, if you're looking for an exchange to trade on, I do recommend Bybit. It is what I trade on. And yeah, so let's move on to order blocks and stochastic. So here on your stochastic, fresh cross to the downside. Like I said before, you can stay in this oversold region for a while. So if we enter back into it, that's going to mean our momentum is very strong. As you see, you stayed in it here for quite a while. All right, so if we do enter back into it, expect a downside move. You know, we did get rejected. I mean, that FOMC wick got rejected directly from this bearish supply order block. You know, so even if you were playing this, if you had this indicator, you know, these order blocks, you would have stayed ahead of the move. So definitely check out other indicators. You know, if you I mean, if you have a good strategy, stick to what you're doing. But if your strategy is kind of slacking, just try different shit. You know what I mean? Try different shit, find out what works for you, and yeah, make money. So let's move on to Ethereum. See what Ethereum did. Similar story, it looks like. All right, so here on Ethereum, yeah, similar story, but very similar story. It looks like we could have a descending triangle. Your 100 is just crossing your 200. So if you start to fan out, you're being held down by the 21 right now. Excuse me. If they start to fan out, I would expect you to break this last range low. Now, Ethereum is right at the bottom of its range. All right, at basically 1525, which was a level that we were talking about weeks ago. All right, we knew we were going to get down to here. Had this little bear trap right there, but we are sitting at 1525 region right now. Right now, your RSI entering the bearish control zone after a little BART action. And looks like it had the same thing here, a little BART. What a BART is, in which it plays out more likely than what you think. All right, a BART is when you go straight up or straight down, you chop around, and then you go down the opposite way. All right, and the same thing works to the upside. And honestly, that pattern plays out in Bitcoin a lot. I mean, I know it sounds stupid, but it plays out a lot. So your MACD trying to get that fresh cross to the downside, but you did have a test. And it was right here. So you did have that test and then you popped up. Is that going to happen again? Come back up to the 21 maybe at 1540? We'll find out. BBWP, and we're going to find out soon because your BBWP is expanding and get above that moving average right now. So if the moving average gets a positive slope, that's when this big ass move is going to happen. All right, let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour, 21 is curling over right now. If it crosses the 50, that's not going to look good. Pay attention to your 4 hour 21 right now. RSI worked its way all the way down from the bullish control zone to the bearish control zone. Now we've got rejected twice from the top. I do think we stay in the bearish control zone. I think this thing goes down. MACD, fresh cross to the 0 line. Strong downside curvature. Negative momentum's waning a bit, but it's trying to print another dark red bar. As you see, it's flickering on and off. Trying to print that dark red bar. If we start printing dark red bars and they get bigger, probably going to come down to these last lows right here on the MACD. If we break that, shit's going to get ugly. All right, so your BBWP is coming down. It's still in the upper zone. We could, come back around. I actually do think that's what's going to happen. I think we turn around on this BBWP. I really don't think it crosses its moving average. Now let's go down to the 1 hour and check out the bullish and bearish cases. Basically, if you break 1500, which is, dude, we've been talking about 1500 for weeks. If you break 1500, I think you come all the way back down to about 1300. With ebbs and flows, of course, which one being, I do think you would get a bounce at 1460. I do think you get a bounce at 1390. All right, maybe even 1400 by the time you get down there. Probably by the time you get down there, it'd be 1460 and 1400. All right, bullish case is that you break this 21 at 1560. Break 1560, you're probably going to come up to 1600. After that, it would be 1650. After that, a clean 1700. Yeah, I mean, basically, if you break that 21, 1700 could be in the cards. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I'm definitely more bearish than bullish right now. Now, I'm like 70-30, maybe even 80-20. But still, nothing has a non-zero probability. You could be bearish as fuck, and then that shit breaks the other way on you and eats your technical analysis for breakfast. That's why you got to stay nimble in Bitcoin. You got to have your levels. Then you use those levels to put the probabilities in your favor and make money over time. Let's go to order blocks. So yeah, you basically got front ran this bullish demand order block. You basically got front ran there, came back down, broke. You found some support on this bearish supply block. Found some support, broke down, found some support on the bottom band of the Bollinger Bands. Now they look like they're trying to tighten up. Probably could get a bounce up to 1570, but we'll find out. If you get the bounce up there, your 21 is, or your 20 SMA, which is your middle band on your Bollinger Bands, is still sitting there. I do think you get rejected from there if you even get up there. Right now, your stochastic's pointing back down, trying to get back into that oversold zone. If that happens, I mean, I think we start closing below these bands. Remember the level, 1500. 1500 is the level to watch right now. Let's move on to Solana. Once again, if you guys are liking this video, like and subscribe to the damn channel. Check out the links in the description below. Join the Discord. It's definitely hard to build a crypto channel in a bear market, so I'd really appreciate it if you show your support, like the video, leave a comment, turn on those bell notifications so you get notified every time I make a video. We will stay ahead of this market collectively. So, here on Solana, on your 1 hour, finding some support at the bottom of our purple box as you got rejected from the top of our purple box. These purple boxes have been respected a lot. Had yourself a bull trap right here, or a bear trap, you know, right around that FOMC. Had yourself a bear trap and cracked back up, but still respected our purple box. So now the question is are we going to range out, or are we breaking the purple box right now? Of course, you're going to find support on the bottom, but if we break that at 30.67, I would even say this last wick at 30.61 region. I think you come down to 29.50. 29.50 would be what I'd be looking at. If you break that, next level, bottom of the box, 28.25. You break that, top of the next box, $27. Right now, your RSI, entering that bearish control zone. Do we have bearish divergence or bullish divergence? Ooh, we have nothing. So, MACD. Fresh retest, you was converging up against that signal line, you know, basically going sideways there. Now you're starting to crack back down. This thing rolled over. Right? I mean, you had a little pop, got rejected from the 21. 21 held you down, rolled right over. Right now, your 100's coming up on your 200. If that thing crosses, the overall true trend is going to be down. These moving averages continue to fan out. I mean, that 28.25 level is looking real nice right now. Let's go to the 8 hour. 8 hour BBWP. Look at this. 8 hour BBWP is expanding, getting above that moving average as your MACD. Strong downside momentum right now. RSI about to enter that bearish control zone. Solana is going down, in my opinion. Not financial advice. I think Solana goes down. I mean, all your momentum is coming down right now as your BBWP expands. Shit rolled right over. Look at that. Look at that wick. Purple box all day. Yeah, I mean, our purple boxes we've had drawn have been getting respected for months. We've had all this stuff drawn since basically way back here. Way back here when we were in this range, we started making these purple boxes on the downside to all our levels using fibs, previous support and resistance, and the VPVR. So we were ready. You know, we've been ready for these moves the whole time. Let's go back down to the 1 hour, talk about the bullish and bearish case. Bullish case is that you break the POC point of control on the VPVR here to your right, which measures horizontal volume at a certain price level. Right where the 21 is, that's going to be major resistance to 31.35 region, of course. So anywhere from 31.25 to 31.40 is where I would think we get rejected from, and that would also imply that we get a bounce back up to the bearish top of the bearish control zone in this signal line. That's where I think we get rejected. That would all coincide with each other. As your MACD would probably come up and test your signal line. Maybe even get a small cross and fake you out real quick. Your BBWP is coming in hot, starting to expand. Probably going to cross that moving average real quick. I do think the move's about to happen. Damn, that trade is doing really good. So all your moving averages have negative slopes. 200 is pretty flat right now. As soon as your 100 crosses that 200, it's not going to look good, because then your overall trend is down. You could have got short down here when the 21 crossed, and the 21 and the 50 crossed the 100. Remember, that's one of our signals. You know, that told you to get short, especially because you were in the bearish control zone. Your MACD had a negative slope below that zero line as your BBWP was expanding. That let you know to get short. Yeah. So let's move on to the order blocks. Stochastic, fresh cross to the downside. Let's see here. All right, so you did get rejected from the bearish supply block. Found support on the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. And I do think you break 30.50. As soon as you break 30.50, that's what's going to start cascading you down. Do you think you get a big bounce in 29.75? If you break that, do you think you get another big bounce at 28.25? All right, so that's about it for Solana. Once again, you guys like this video, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Turn on the bell notifications. Join the Discord. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening. I'll see you tomorrow.